Okay, I'm going to start in a few minutes. A bunch of stuff to go over. Give it a few minutes. I'm actually in the car. I've got a nice little drive. Okay, as soon as I stop the car, I'm going to start. I hope you guys could hear me well. I've really found a lot of, the last couple days, let me back up. First of all, if you haven't subscribed, I would subscribe, because I'm going to start putting things on private viewing for. I don't even know how it works, but I'm going to look into it. How you do private viewings for, I don't know if it's your subscribers or members. I have no idea, but there's certain videos that I'm definitely going to start putting on private for my subscribers. Whatever that looks like, that's what I'm going to start doing. Only because I feel as if those who are really interested and see this viewpoint and understand my channel are my subscribers, and not the ones that are going in and out. I don't know if what that will do. Maybe it will do nothing, but I'm just going to give it a shot and see how that works. For those of you that are newly watching this channel, a little bit about me is really my background is I'm an entrepreneur. I've built very large businesses and found that I was ignoring my intuition side, my light that fills me each day. It's generations of this kind of stuff. I have generations of it. And when I was younger, I dabbled in it, I worked in it. I was very well known in high school, junior high, when I went to camp, blah, 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 for all the crazy shit that I would say and see and do. And then I kind of ignored it in college. I went to television production, which actually was offered a job with Oprah right out of college. Good at what I did, but I definitely turned off this side of me during my years in college, because the dean of the school came to my door and told me if I take out that Ouija board one more time and I tell people about their dead grandparents, I will be kicked off the college. It was at ASTU. It was in Walter Cronkite School of Journalism. And I was that one, I'm going to bring my Ouija board, because that's what you used back then. I still have the original. It's worth hundreds, actually. And I used it in the dorm, and people would stand at the door I would go into like someone's dorm room, and just, that was my fun. And I would go in, maybe one day these girls would hear these stories and know it's me. I would go into the dorm room, to Paula's dorm room, and sit on her bunk bed, the bottom of the bunk bed, and put the Ouija board on my lap, and whoever wanted to join in would sit on the floor. There was like just a cold floor, and put her hands on the board. And I remember, like when I think back now, I remember it was more, and I didn't realize it in the moment. It wasn't as much the Ouija board as if it was what I saw, what I was being shown. And the Ouija board would spell certain things out, but then I would stop and go into a whole story. And I never really stopped to realize that I'm going into a whole story. That was like the next level of my skills. So I'm going into these stories. I'm telling this girl who's sitting on the floor that her grandmother died on a boat and blah, blah, blah. I saw her, I see her. And it created a bunch of girls to stand outside the door and listen, because I wouldn't let anyone inside the room other than the person I was working with and a friend, because I didn't want anyone sitting and making fun of me. So I knew there were girls outside the door, and I said, this is what got me almost kicked off of college. I said, whoever's at the door who's about to knock, I'm going to tell you something right now. And I went right into a family member who passed away, and they had something to say, and I went right into it. And I could tell that she was just about to knock on the door with her hand. And with that, someone must have called, I don't know what they were called, the patrol people of your dorm. I forgot what they were called. And then they called the dean of the school, came down in his suit with another man, with another guy who didn't want to have anything to do with this whole thing. The guy in the suit came to the door. Like, I really must have really freaked them out for this man to come from his office, which was in the middle of campus, with, I just know whoever he's with was also dressed well too, but he didn't say anything. He was like his guinea pig to do what he needed to do. They came and they standing in the doorway, and he's like, you need to throw that Ouija board down the dumpster. It was like you threw it down the chute into the dumpster where everything gets burned and thrown away, right? So I'm like, after you, blah, blah, blah. You don't throw away the board. Like, I was following all these own internal all these rules that I was told to follow, right? Like, I am not throwing it away. You will be sinned forever. Your life will be upside down. I am not doing it. And he walked me down. He took the board from me, and he walks me down the hallway, which I remember was down the hallway. We're working straight, and the dumpster was on the left-hand side. You had to open the door, like you had back, I mean, God, you guys, this is in the 80s. You had to open up the door and throw it down the dumpster. Like, open the door to get to the dumpster. I'm looking at him. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to be in charge. I'm not throwing this thing down the dumpster. No way. There's no way. So the dean of the school was so scared to do it. He says to the guy that he's with, you're such a weirdo. The devil will be after you. The devil will be after you for the rest of your life if you throw that down the dumpster. So the dean would not touch it. I remember the silence. I remember there was no words being said, and they were looking at each other. And I remember looking at that guy in the eyes and like, don't you dare do it. And the dean was literally saying to him, take it from her now and throw it in the dumpster. He was so scared of me. This guy was like so nervous. It was so strange. Now when I look back, I would be scared of someone like me too. Seriously, I would. I'm like, he took it from my hands and he threw it in the dumpster. I looked at him like a freaking, I'm surprised I didn't like literally have me pack my bags then. I looked at him, I said, you are going to be living like in the devil's something. Like, I talked to him, I'm telling him all these things. He never said a word. I'm like, and I kept saying, I'm not the one who threw it away. I'm not the one who did this. You are the one who threw my Ouija board. And I'm just going to go get another one. And that was the end of me doing my readings and speaking to the people in my dormitory, which was at ASU. And that was the end of that, because the dean said, if in fact I hear one more conversation about you talking about dead people to the girls on this floor in your Palo Verde East, it was Palo Verde East, I think, because West was the guys where the athletes lived, I believe. And I'm like, okay, I just will do it somewhere else. I won't do it here, but I will keep doing it. And you're in trouble. You're going to be in trouble the rest of life. You're going to have bad things happen to you because you threw it down the dumpster. I don't even know how I got off on this tangent, but that is a story of me, of a little bit of insight of me. And then I just continued. I went into television production. I started the first yearbook video. Jostin's yearbook actually came to visit me with a television crew. I went and moved there to work with them. It was big. And then I got a job with Oprah. I went through all the interviews. Back then, you guys, it was a little easier than it is now, so put it in perspective. I said no to moving with my boyfriend from high school, who I wound up marrying, and I ran the News Gazette over there at U of I. And I'm telling you this story because all that time I kind of ignored and stopped that side of me. I lived a life of ignoring that side of me, and what that did was create eating disorder. It created anxiety. It created a lot of shit for myself that was unnecessary, but it lasted a long time until I brought this gift back into my life. I'm telling you this story because for many years, from the time that I stopped using my skills that I was inherited, and I ignored it, and I stopped living in the light, is when I started really fucking up. Drugs and eating disorder and doing crazy things, and all to now I see it. You don't see it when you're going through it. All to quiet my mind, the mind that was telling me to go back towards the light, like go back towards what you're born to do, and you don't know it in the midst of it. And I through the years, now I'm in my 50s and I'm actually still learning a lot about myself. When I ignore this side of me, I get sick. I get anxious. I get cancer. I get stomach issues. I get bowel obstruction. I get all of these things that are not necessary for me to have. And through the years, I realized the things that I do that I was always shamed for are the things that I'm supposed to do, like raise people into the light and help them die is something I love doing. I allowed other people's opinion about that to overtake my life. That's weird. That's crazy. What's wrong with you? I don't understand you. What are you talking about? That's not what they said. That's not what we heard. That's not what we saw. You were never there. You weren't there. I was there. All these things that I would know of certain situations that I really wasn't there. I never realized I was speaking from a place that I really wasn't ever physically there. And I knew a lot of things and I saw a lot of things. And to this day, I have siblings. To this day, my sister would say, oh, Lori gets confused. Lori gets so confused. She thinks it was her and it wasn't, it was me. And there's things like that it actually took, I would say recently, for me to understand that, you know what? She's right and I need to stop talking. Like, I need to stop saying that because I really wasn't there. So it's confusing to the people around me. So the point of my story is I needed to really engage myself into who I am and live my truth in order for me to be my healthier self. And the biggest lesson came right before Summer Wells' missing children's case was shown to me. Everyone has gone through horrific shit through COVID. Everyone. If you say you haven't, then you're really in denial of your life. Then you're really in denial of, who you are and what you do and everything like that, because everyone has gone through changes, um, right before, and this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. I really hope this whole thing is coming through, because I never know if it stops. I never know what is. Wait, let me open. Tell me you guys hear me as I give nonsense of my life. Oh wait, someone's saying buffering. Wait, do you hear me? Okay, someone just put it. Okay, yeah. So right, everyone has gone through this shit of what the fuck is life about? What is going on? Because COVID, what is going on? We saw we saw Black Lives Matter and then we saw COVID, or it was something before that, and then there was this whole Trump thing, and so much was going on in the world that it was so made everyone so dizzy, and so like, what is this world going? Like, what is happening now? For me, right before COVID hit, the 2 years prior, I went through. My daughter was diagnosed with cancer. I have daughters. I have all daughters, and my oldest. And I knew she had it. And even though the doctors were saying, no, we don't find anything, I went like in my pajamas to the top doctor in the country with all of her information in her disc. And I sat there at Lurie's Northwestern, and I would not leave until I knew that was given to the doctor who everyone comes to see. And I said, listen to me. My daughter has cancer. This needs to get to the doctor. I cannot leave until I know he's read this. Yes, miss, we gave it to him, blah, blah, blah. The next day I get the phone call. We suspect Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I'll never forget that phone call. And with that phone call, my whole world got very small. Got very, very small. For 3 or 4 months prior, I argued against everyone. I don't give a fuck if her blood work is good. I don't give a shit what it says. Something is wrong. Something's wrong. To make that long story short, we dealt with, oh my God, I mean, if anyone who's gone through cancer, you know what you deal with. You know what you deal with the treatments and the whole thing. And it's when it's your daughter, you go into, I shouldn't say you, I went into the other side of the glass, I called it. The other side of the glass. It's like God lifted me up and plopped me on the other side of the glass where I heard and saw no one else but my daughter. It was like I was looking through, and I could write a book on it. It was like looking through a piece of glass that shielded everyone's words, noise, everything. But other than you could just see, like I could like see people moving around and yelling and screaming and getting all nervous and chaos, but I couldn't hear them. I was protected basically from this piece of glass. And for 2 years we went through it. And yeah, she has to go every 6 months and do this, and that's part of it. But as soon as she was given her you are in remission, we got hit with COVID. She was in my house living with me for a long time, and she's older. We got hit with COVID. We weren't, and then it just felt as if we were going into a whole nother situation of someone being on chemo. Because it's like, it was so triggering. And I send so many prayers and love, and I don't understand how people are able to go through that during COVID with nobody at their side. There are people that like just went that are going through treatments, and there's no one who could be with them. Like I could cry just saying it. Like it's so heart-wrenching. Going through COVID, and my anxiety and everything now is really lifting, because now this is where my spirit self is saying, you need to step up. You need to live in the light to get through this. You need to go back to your pure self. And then it was pushing me and creating a breakdown. It was so loud and so clear to me what was going on. And I felt as if I was in a world of my own. And it was very scary. It was at like that teeter-totter of actually losing your mind and not losing your mind. In the midst of all the COVID, because I was living in my house with a husband who was still stuck in the chemo, the way to take care of your house during someone with chemo was so triggering to me. I literally had a nervous breakdown. It was so triggering with the cleaning and the not seeing anyone and the masks and the wiping down the bags and the wiping down the shoes. And I couldn't even wrap my head around that there's a fucking COVID that's killing all these people. I was so tormented by what was going on. I remember going to Dick's Sporting Good, standing in the middle of Dick's Sporting Good, and I couldn't take one more step. I called my girlfriend in Arizona. I said, I need to get on a plane. She's my best friend since college. I need to get on a plane. I have to leave. I have to leave and come to you. I'm not in my body. Something's happening. I'm going through some shift, and I'm smart enough to know that I'm not basically losing my mind, but I'm going through some major shift. Something major's happening, and she understands me because she knows me as my Ouija board days. She knows me. She knows me very well. She's my closest friend. I said, something's happening. I need to get on a plane. She's like, do you need me? I'll go, hold on. I'll go use my points. I'll get you a flight. And she actually put me on hold. She came back, and this is how she knows me. She's like, you're getting on a flight tomorrow morning. If you need to leave today, you're leaving today. You're leaving tonight. I got on a plane and I left. I left on a plane. On my mom's birthday, who I would never ever do that to. I couldn't breathe one more breath. I got to her house. I didn't even realize I wasn't eating. I lost so much weight. My family was so concerned. They didn't know I left. They actually thought I was going there to commit suicide. That's how bad it got. Once I started coming out of it and realizing and talking it through with your best friend, everyone needs a friend like my friend. In order to get through hard times like that, you can't do it by yourself. You do it by yourself, you will lose your mind because everyone around you doesn't understand you. They don't know what it is that you need to get back to who you are. It takes one friend to understand who you are. And she did it. She did it. She's in a situation that she's able to put me up at a place, and I stayed at her house, and then she put me into one of the into a complex room, whatever, apartment complex. And at in those moments, I realized I need to stop doing my entrepreneurial working. I need to stop. I manufacture for NCAA. I do a lot of products that are in major outlet stores for years. Like I lived in China half the year always, and I had to stop. And I know for a fact, COVID created this situation. I'm talking about myself. For everyone that's listening, I know that this COVID created, not just COVID, everything that was going on, the hatred, everything, created a moment for all of us to stop and say, what is it that you really want to do? Like, what are you supposed to be doing? What are you supposed to be doing? So it wasn't just me going through this. I think we all have been given that opportunity. I think there was an opportunity that I chose to embrace, especially the day that I found myself in the hospital from bowel obstruction right before this case. And I've talked about that before. I don't have to go through it. But once I came home from Arizona, I was able to get the first vaccine there because I volunteered. I volunteered at the very first hub from State Farm Insurance in Arizona. I volunteered to be in the emergency room in case, not in the emergency room, in the emergency tent in case anyone fainted or they didn't know what was going on. It was the first hub. No one got the vaccine unless you were older, but I was able to get it because I volunteered. It was what I did. I didn't know what I was going to do. Should I take it? Should I not take it? I was in such a whirlwind. Anyways, it's affected all of us. I came home and I swear to God that I'm saying to my husband, the fucking vaccine created this bowel obstruction because that's where my weakness is. My weakness is in the bowel obstruction. It was so bad. I was in the hospital for like a month. During that month, I turned on the TV and there's this story about a little boy, and the little boy that I showed you guys once before, whose mom wound up, they say, committing suicide, and the little boy was taken, never found again, at the water park in Wisconsin. I know for a fact, I'm watching that, and I'm in the hospital, I'm watching from my bedside. I'm like, I know that whole story. I know this whole story. This is a big story. And that's when I started writing about the Summer Wells case. Now, this was before Summer Wells was told to be missing. This is April. This is April 28th. And I'm writing it all down. I wrote the whole entire thing down, all the story. And then when I was let out of the hospital, that is when I'm telling the story because this is when I decided to get back into my witchiness, and I didn't know where it was going to direct me. I knew that I didn't want to go back to hospice, and I worked for Journey Care. I knew I didn't want to be in a building. I knew I needed the freedom to figure out exactly what I needed to do with this. I said to my husband, I'm setting up my office. I'm setting up my little dungeon area. Not dungeon, it's quite nice. It's a little room. I need a TV. I need all my stuff in this room so I could do me. I could do me. And if at this point he's like, fuck, I'll do anything that, I'll do anything that I'll want her to do, because she just left for a month and I don't know what she's going through. He still thought I did all this shit because he's like, is she leaving me? I'm like, this has nothing to do with you. Just all of us women that go through shit, sorry men, it really has nothing to do with you. Never has anything to do with you. So he gets me TV. He gets me TV, a Samsung TV that has its own like TV stations in there. Turn on the TV, and the first thing that I see that's on this TV, it's the day after, I think it was the 16th. It was the Tennessee TV station. God knows how it even showed up on my TV. And bam, there's Summer Wells's face right in my face. I'm like, oh my God. The newscaster is discussing how she was just gone. She was gone. I'm watching, I'm like, this is the fucking journal book I just wrote. I just wrote all about this story. It's the Summer Wells missing children. It's not just about Summer Wells. In that moment, I knew it wasn't Summer Wells. I saw the whole entire thing, and I actually saw a child who wasn't found, but as I'm watching this station, I had a vision, the same vision that I wrote in my book. It was, and I wrote where I wrote it all out. I drew it all out, the mountains, the little town just a little town that was built. You go into the town, down the street, and it's mountainous. To the left is like a brand new gas station or something. It's like a brand new, it's the only thing that was brand new. It's like it was a new gas station or with a small little convenience store in the front of it, and to the right of it there's like a water park. And at the water park, I wrote, it's noisy, it's loud, people don't realize that there's little cages of kids being hidden away there, and they're there and they can't get out. And like, I wrote this whole thing. But at the gas station I saw a little girl, and I looked at her and I said, you're Summer Wells. Are you Summer Wells? And she wouldn't answer, and she said, go away, I like it here. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Don't find me. I don't want you to find me. I like it here. And it was like a Summer Wells missing child. Summer Wells, I have been shown, there are a lot of them. There's not just one. So I'm not really even quite sure which one they're talking about was gone, because there's a lot of them that went gone under Summer Wells. This little girl is standing with someone tall, a male, I'm thinking about it right now, a male presence. He's holding her hand tight. She doesn't want to be recognized. She doesn't want me to talk to her. She's afraid for me to talk to her, and she tells me to go away. Don't find me. I don't want you to find me, is what she said. I write this all down in the book. I start following the Summer Wells case, and it's all coming together. And this was the moment I said, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to perfect more of the case, more of missing children's cases, and put my efforts there. I never used YouTube. My kids use YouTube. Never. It's not like something that I go on. I don't, like, who uses YouTube? I use YouTube to share stories about manufacturing in China. I take on some more master teachers. I took on someone who's very, very well known in this field. He sat me down, and the first thing he said is, you don't need cards, you don't need it. He knows nothing about me. He's like, does anyone ever tell you you're a witch? I'm like, yes, I've been told that my whole life. But I'm really not quite sure what that means, so whatever. Like, I just blow it off. I'm like, whatever. Like, whatever you're talking about, I don't care. Whatever. Like, just show me what the fuck to do. Like, I get really bitchy. I have a side of me when I speak that's, when that side of me comes out, it's not nice. Like, I understand the unniceness. Like, I get it, because somewhere in my DNA was a witch. It was bad. I just know it was because I get it. But I don't live the bad witch. But I sure in the fuck know how to, I know how to channel it in. That's why I totally know why Benny and Don and Candace and Robin don't want to go by anyone who's psychic, because they're fucking scared of us. So where was I? Oh, so I start following this case, and I bring on my master teachers because I know who I go to the best. He's like, learn these tarot cards. Learn these tarot cards. I couldn't really quite learn the tarot cards very well because I'm so not one who follows rules and wants to stay within the lines. Someone says stay in the lines. I'm like, fuck you. Why should I stay in the lines? The first thing in my mind is like, I'm coloring outside the lines. I don't know. And I was more interested how it affected that person than I was about coloring in lines. Anyways, taught me a lot. And then I took on Lisa Williams quickly. Lisa Williams, if y'all look her up, she's phenomenal. This is what she does. She's well known, like really well known. Books, like well known, like she's up there. She's like up there. So make a long story short, now that I've been talking about this for 37 minutes, Jesus Christ. I now really, I'm in a much better place. Like, I feel calmer. People who know me love what they see. My family is not quite sure what they see, but I've learned that is one of my lessons is I can't live. My family's very tight. They're a huge family. Everything we do together is 50 people. There's no small gatherings, and we all talk about each other, and we're not behind each other's back, to each other. Oh my God, did you talk to Lori? She's going crazy. What the fuck is wrong with her? Like, oh my God, is something wrong with her? Like, I've learned that is okay. It's one of the things I've learned through this whole situation. It's okay. To be on this side, and it scares people. So anyone that's listening to me that is in a state of unconsciousness, that's unconscious, I feel people are unconscious when they're not living their truth. Those are the ones that are running around, banging their heads against the wall, bouncing into shit and getting all pissed off because they're not conscious of who they're supposed to be. It's those people that are running around screaming on YouTube and having these fucking arguments because they're fighting against who they're supposed to be. I watch it very closely, and it's very interesting because those who are fighting and creating a lot of turmoil during this Summer Wells case, and it's really supposed to be about finding missing children. It's not just about one child, you guys. It's not. It's about a lot of children. But the beautiful, incredible creators that we know and we've been watching through this whole situation, each one of them are being challenged to find who they are. And instead of stopping and saying, you know what, this is who I am, they're still doing it through looking for the acceptance of the other YouTube channels. So by someone saying, I'm sending you a piece of wood, like, it takes to start a fire, you have to give wood and receive wood. When someone is sitting there waiting for someone to give them the wood without and not giving it back to them unconditionally, what the fuck is that about? That does nothing. That does nothing. So all these wonderful kick-ass YouTube women that are fighting during this situation is because Summer Wells is here to better the world. Her story is here to show people how to live within the light. Show people this is your time to shine and show who you are through my case. My case. Summer Wells' case is giving a lot of opportunity to people to find themselves and find what works for them and to go through horrible hurt and to go through fights with someone who you thought was your friend and they're not. And then for you to be able to turn around and say, you know what? That's okay, you're not my friend. I never saw it before, but now I see it. Now I see it. Instead of still going on YouTube and saying, oh, I'm giving you another chance, that's just you not looking at yourself to give yourself another chance. That's what Summer Wells is going to go down in history for. That's what she's going to go down in history for. It's the case of the missing children that happened to happen during these horrific times that everyone is against a wall. Not everyone. There are people that don't want to look at themselves. They're not anywhere. They're fine and dandy and they're running around the world. Who the fuck cares? Blah, blah, blah. What's their problem? What's their problem? They have no intention of looking at themselves. That's fine. They don't have to in this lifetime. That's not their purpose. But the ones that are fighting against each other, and I'm going to call you out. Tiffany Marie, Ziggy, Molly. And then you got AB who likes to dabble in there. He just thinks it's funny, I think. He's a man who thinks it's funny. He's not really quite sure what's going on because he doesn't have the mentality of the spiritual self to really think about it. To really think about it. Those women are very powerful women within themselves. And I'm going to throw in APAF, whatever her name is. I don't know who that is. They said sick. She's figuring herself out too because she's somehow entangled in this, but she's questioning herself. She's questioning herself. She's scared. She's really scared. I don't think she's as sick as she is scared. But those three women, you all have opportunity to really stop in your own footsteps and be like, what's happening? But I think you're fearful of it because you may not get as many views. You may not get the audience to listen to you, so you're rather hang on to your anger towards each other because that's what's working for you on YouTube. But it's not going to work for you. It's not going to work for you in the long run. You're going to create illness. You're going to create disease. You're going to create yourself to not feel good. And then you'll have your breakdown. And then you'll readjust and be like, what the fuck was this Summer Wells case really about? It's not about Summer Wells. It's about you as an individual. You as an individual. And this Summer Wells case message is the message I full-heartedly believe is the message to the world today. If everyone would take a moment to stop, maybe this wouldn't be happening to our children. It takes a lot of hatred to fucking chop up kids, kill kids, sell their organs, chop their heads off, burn them, beat them, sexually assault them. It takes a lot of fucked up shit totally gathered in someone's body to do that. Truthfully, every human is just a sliver away from jumping off that bridge to becoming evil. That's what this is about. That's what it's about. There's a choice. You have a choice. There's a choice. And the Summerwell's missing children are begging us to choose the latter, to choose not to bash each other and get so angry where you just want to literally fucking kill that other person. I hear it. And that's exactly what we're not supposed to be doing. That's not what those children are saying to do, the ones that have passed into the light. I hear them. I listen to them. I watch them. I smell them. It's exactly what they don't want us to do, because that is how they were killed. By people that start with those little fucking fights on YouTube and it grows bigger and bigger. Could you imagine if you lived in a life of sexual abuse in your house and you start on one little level and it goes higher and higher? That's what happened. They don't want to hear the women fighting against each other that have helped bring this case into the light. And they keep saying it. Oh, the blah, 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 we were the first ones. No one's going to give a fuck if you were the first ones, if this is how you're going to be remembered, by the fighting. No one knows what you did now going in 8 months. I know what you did because I was one of the first ones. No one knows I was one of the first ones right behind when Tiffany and Molly were on the same channel together. Not the same channel. They always talked together, and it was fabulous. They gave me the information I needed to continue with this case. It was filled with light, it was beautiful, and it was real. All of a sudden, they're allowing the evilness of this case to get to them. The things that I hear them say, I'm like, oh my God, I really misjudged that person. Like, really, I'm like sitting back, I'm like, I can't believe I actually said I liked her. I don't understand how she just said that, and using words that I would never even, wouldn't even come out of my mouth unless I'm channeling through a bad witch. So that is one of the things I really, really want to get out there today, because it's getting really close to finding these kids, and we're teetering, and they have a lot more power than you think because there's hundreds of them. They don't want this case to be uncovered through the hatred that's going on through YouTube right now. You all need to find some peace with each other, because Summerwell's missing children, they don't want to have any fucking part of it. They don't want to be the reason that this is solved. You're not going to solve it screaming and ranting and raving in the streets if you're fighting. You'll solve it in the streets, I believe, in the streets of Tennessee, if you're there consciously. If you're there consciously. If you're there without saying you're there and no one else is here. Why isn't anyone else here? Well, that just doesn't work. That just defeats, then you might as well not be there. Because if it's like someone saying, oh, I'm going to show up to that place because I told you so, that that kind of decision isn't made purely. So it's not going to work. It just won't work. Intentions equal results. Intentions equal results. We want to find these children. We want justice for all the children. They did something very, very, very horrific to the point where we can't even wrap our heads around it. And for those of you that make fun of when I say that they were brutally beaten, raped, and chopped up, you have to understand that's what they're doing. These kids are in disarray. It's total chaos when they get rid of these children. It's going this way. It's going that way. Everyone has to follow the same story, and they're getting away with it. They're getting away with it. And I know that in order for this case to be solved, I was told that I need to stay and speak my truth and not just go online and just throw out pictures of someone's head on a platter. It's not going to work. Because if it hasn't worked yet, it's not gonna until everyone comes together, because there's so much evidence showing real fucking death, but no one's doing anything because everything is in its time. The time is coming. The time is coming. This group creates deep fakes on top of their pictures. Because they've been doing it for years and years and years, they create layers on top of their photos as a symbol of what they're doing. They're speaking to their own cult, and they speak well. They speak louder than we're speaking on YouTube because we're not connecting. They're connecting and they're getting away with it, and they're getting stronger and stronger, and they're doing it more often because they're all on the same page. Their strength and their unity, as sick as it is, works because they're united. And the more that they unite on a friendship level, the more they're getting away with it. So I'm going to show you some photos of real photos that I have found through. I'm going to be going out, and I need to hear from them first, though, to New Hampshire, to Manchester, because I have a real gut feeling about these trees. I have a real gut feeling about the trees, the wood. I don't know what they do, but they're using it. They're using it. They're using it. So when I show pictures that don't look so perfect, and so they look like someone put something over it, because they are, to send a message. It's called a deep fake. Their pictures are loaded in messages. None of your pictures should ever be loaded in messages unless someone does it to the picture. Just by the fact that they're doing it to the pictures, they're covering something up. And that is where TBI, FBI should be going. They should be locking these people up until they explain why they have a heart on a little girl glowing. They have a heart on a little girl glowing because they sold her heart. This picture that I have in front of you is one of Candace's photos. It doesn't make sense to us. It makes sense to the people that are working this group. This makes sense to the people that took her heart. Now, understand that when I say many summer wells, I'm going to show you something before I show you, here's all the summer wells. Here it is. Before I show you the thing that's going to make you go crazy. In the beginning, I said if I were to find a photo that is taken 3 or more times by Candace, there's something up with it. Everything is done on purpose. It's all about her purpose. It's it. This photo that we've all been looking at, I know for a fact that's not all the Summer that we know. I see a different picture, face in the middle. I see Michael Vaughn. You all could say no, but I seriously believe the one in the middle that's smiling like that, and they change it all. They cover it up. Those are not Summer Wells that we know's eyes. You need to use your intuition. You need to look at this, because all of these photos are coming now from their new media director. I believe their new media director had to come on board, because I think, I'm going to put it out there, I'm sorry, whoever does the AF or AP, Pentagon, your videos and your stuff just show way too much information that we don't have. We don't have all of those photos. They weren't available to us. I would know if they were. Now, something shifted. This guy came in and he has all these photos of one situation, but what he doesn't know is I'm onto that. I fucking get it. I understand why he does this. He's a dumb motherfucker. I took all those pictures already in case they take him down. No one posts 6 photos of this child in front of a tree that we have never seen before. The people that have been following this case, I know the look in this girl's face better than I do my niece's face. This is a cover-up of the children that get gone when Summer Wells was announced gone. This here is not Summer Wells's. Might be. It's not her one face. This is not one child gone. At all. Neither is this. Now look at all these are all of these different versions. I haven't touched any of these. If you guys take for one moment and go back 6 months, open up all the newscasters, channel whatever, all the news, look at their videos, look at their pictures. They show so much more. The one all the way to the right is exactly what I uncovered in a photo that took so long to debunk. That's right there on channel 10, I think, or 5, whatever it is. That's the picture. There's a cross on the bottom. There's someone laying above her. These are all now, the guy that's doing their media fucking has it all on, has posted all the pictures. This is such guilt. The one all the way to the bottom to the left is the one that was tried to get changed. No, actually, I changed that. That was taken like that. But guess what? All the Summer Wells children have a picture. They all have a picture in this situation. They're all different. Because they fucked up. They fucked up. You guys, this is a real photo. You could just go get. Google Summer Wells milk jug photo. And keep looking. Go all the way back 6 months. Don't look at the ones that first show up. What they did was they bombarded social media. So all the first groups of photos that came out get pushed back. Go through all those pages. Go all the way to the last page. Keep going. See more, see more, see more. And bam, you're going to get the picture of someone laying above her and she's connected to an IV and she's got this shit on her. It's really not what they look like. Different versions. We all couldn't agree because there are different versions. We're all looking at different realities. Different realities. How about this one? Go back to this channel. Look at it. Both these pictures show more truth than we've ever seen. And it's right in front of us. FBI just needs to go Google all this shit. These are not normal photos. I took it right from the video. These children have masks. They have chains on them. Just look. They have everything that I've been discussing. And the people sitting in the back are fake. They never move. They never move. They fucking never move. But the children in the front, anyone that is a priest or anyone that is in this church world or spiritual world that really, really doesn't want this to be shown as a church needs to do something about it. This is disgusting. This is disgusting that they're using the name church side by side by children being sacrificed. Look what Summer has over her body. You guys, these come right from the news channel. I've done fucking nothing to this shit. I haven't even opened it. The one to the left, there's that little, like these little dolls that they carry with them. It's right in front of, it's right on their footage. And these guys are still rocking around, doing their thing. Let me show you guys something. This guy, whoever this is one of the last days. It shows the field trip. It shows the other kids that she was with. Here's the car ride. That's a fake thing. She's not really holding that. They're in a room with other children that were sacrificed. These are photos that we don't get. The fucking idiot who's running their new media posted them. He posted them. Look at these different faces, you guys. He posted all of these. There's 4 of them. That one's the same, I think, in the middle. Where is this? Where is this? Those aren't her teeth. Like a fake tooth put in there. But there's a problem with this. And you know, there's a problem with this. It's look at this. Wait, I have to show you something. These are all the same. These pictures, they have all the same outfits on. See that outfit? She has all the same outfit on. It's the same day. It's the same day. He fucking posted this shit. It's the same day. This one. This is the location that they do shit to kids because they have multiple pictures of the Sobe Summer Wells in the same location. Same place, same location, same look. Different children. That is not Summer Wells that we know up in the right-hand corner. Sorry. The bottom right-hand corner is the face that we know. There are many Summer Wells missing children. I cannot repeat myself enough. This is their house. This needs to be looked at. This is in the basement. This is under their house. No one has fucking dug anywhere. Nothing. Same outfit. Same outfit. These are all staged photos with different children. That is not the Summer Wells we know of up in the right-hand corner. Period. It's just not. There's a lot of kids involved here. And there's that little squirrel. That squirrel head shows up at Appalachian Fair, if anyone that's been watching my stuff. This is all calculated, planned. This group is not fighting. They fought one time, and that's why they almost got busted. They had something went wrong. Someone fucked up. Robin did something she wasn't supposed to do. It created a crinkle in their plan, and we almost got them with that crinkle. But then we all started fighting on YouTube. We started doing the same thing they did, and we all fell apart. We were right there. They were fighting, they fell apart. We started fighting, we fell apart. They're not fighting anymore. They shipped one guy, Joe, whatever his name is, who's so involved. He's out of the country, man. He's gone. Whoop, he's gone. Robin Lane, if she's not hiding under a rock, she's a dumbass. Look at these photos. That is not the Summer Wells we know of to the right-hand side. At all. Oh, I brought this one in. You guys, this was very interesting. I wanted to show you this before I actually get to my real live that I wanted to do. This is the girl that the Amber Alert is named after. This mother is so involved in this shit. I was actually spiritually told to look at this. And I don't know if I go into it. It might be in my other one. I probably put that in by accident. There we go. Summer Wells is to the left. The fake Summer Wells is to the right. This is a little girl that we all think of. We all think of. But these have deep fakes. These have deep fake messages on them. All of them do. All of them do. All these have deep fake messages, and these are not all the same kid. They just aren't. First of all, this one on the bottom has brown eyes. Do you understand? She has brown eyes, but yet she looks just like Summer. And she has no hair. They took a lot of kids at the same time that they took Summer Moon Wells. Those are all the kids that are fighting for justice. If you all could understand and wrap your heads around the fact that it's not just one child. This is not all the Summer Wells that we know. You need to look closer, and you need to look at these pictures and understand the truth. These kids are in bad situations. They're not smiling and they're not having fun. Not all the same kid. I have them close. I have photos of her close, and they're just getting away with it. This one here, this was a different version of what I have of this photo, and it's pretty sick. It's pretty sick. This one really bothers me. This one really bothers me because they took a lot of different versions of this photo. This to me is one of the last photos. This matches up with Candace Wells's. Candace Wells took a photo the night right before she called 911. This is not the Summer Wells we know. And they put different items on them to differentiate who's who. They have not been busted. I'm showing this to you guys so you could take notice when you see a photo, instead of being like, oh, I don't see deep fake. What's a deep fake? Blah blah. They're not all deep faked. These are photos that are taken so you could tell the difference of who's who. And then they could layer them. Just like that. They layer them. All the same location, the same setting, all the same position. There are hundreds of children we are dealing with. Hundreds. Now I'm going to show you something that's going to just blow you away. I already spoke to New York, and I already sent this, and this is one of the reasons I want to go to New Hampshire. Now I'm going to switch. We're going to just totally jump off different subject. Same subject, different photos. Someone's getting super, super, super sloppy. As I'm investigating the Harmony Montgomery, because I found a number 5 on Harmony Montgomery's and a lot of other stupid fucking mistakes that they've made, is connected with the Summer Wells. Not just connected with missing Summer Wells children, but the same people. Same people. The photos that you see in front of you, I always get photos that pop up for me correctly because I know that my spirit guides and my angels are working with me. I'm in my light. I'm in my truth. I'm not doing anything for fame or glory. I am working not through selfishness and not through greed. I'm working through an open heart, and I feel these children's sadness. I'm working through the strength of the children. And when that happens, you get the truth kind of shows to you, and they're not coincidences. The photos that you see in front of you were shown to me through the Google when I put in Harmony Montgomery's photos, images. These images, the one were like the cover image of one of their news stations' stories. So it would be like this weird image would show up, and I would click on it, and it would be the news story of Harmony. Now and then this picture's not even in there. It's just was shown to me. I already spoke to New York train station. Now, that's a picture of Harmony, and I have all of her photos blown up so I could see what's in the back of it. This train station has a lot going on, this photo. They superimposed, now obviously it was superimposed, they placed that fake person on the tracks. So just by someone putting a little fake little guy on the tracks, they're sending a message. Up in the right hand corners and in the train, I always look for reflections. Obviously everything fucking reflects. I know that I'm not stupid. But when it reflects the same elements that I've been looking at for now 7 months, someone put it there. It's the exact same containers, white containers, and the same symbols in the front as Harmony Montgomery's photos. To me, that was enough to call New York and ask them if this photo is that really what it looks like? Is that really your Times Square? Because if it's not, this is a problem. It's telling you they're using a train. It's using a train, and they're using the tracks, and that's the message. All the I know this is really hard for you guys to see, and I know sometimes it's like, what the fuck, but when I see anything like with that American flag, that's the Wells. And it's all put there, and it's a little blown up, and it's hard to see, but it's the same. It's the same. The hidden messages are all the same hidden messages. This is the one that got their attention. This photo, I am telling you, is the movement of body parts. This photo shouldn't have been there. It shouldn't have been found. It shouldn't have been found. But this they're taking seriously, because there are palm trees. This is a warm location. I think it's Mexico, or Florida. There's a lot in these photos. These two came together, by the way. I didn't put them together. They were placed together. That's what's by that guy. Those are like just hidden. They're hard to see. They're like hidden. See on the bottom left, bottom right hand corner? That's like an element that I see throughout this case, and it's either white or green. And it's right there in the bottom left hand corner. The pieces of luggage have skeleton faces on them, which we all know is part of this. And that room doesn't look normal. That's what's hidden in the deep fake there. Now, what I'm showing you is, for those who haven't seen it, this kind of a white jug-like tubes or whatever with the maroon red around it is a major element, and it shows up. It's not an element that we should be seeing anywhere. I'm circling and showing these elements to you again so you can compare them to the harmony. Go back to one of the photos that I'm going to show you. These are elements that show up, that same white element with the red. This is above the tunnel in Tennessee. That's above the scary tunnel, the water tunnel. Same photos. It's really quite coming together. And that's Appalachian Fair. These elements are quite important in this case. The containers at the train match those containers that are in the background of the Harmony case. The Harmony case, they show a lot of information. Here's a close-up of those containers. Look at the faces in the front. They're like ghost faces, right? These guys are somewhere where they're this to me is a separate room. This to me is a separate room pushing things through customs. The black suitcases make sense too, because black suitcases are used in a lot of cases like this. But there's no reason that this photo should be connected to Harmony Montgomery's case unless there was a reason for it. On one of the cases is a number 5 with the clown thing. That's no coincidence, you guys. Someone put it there. Don is number 5. This to me is a group that Don runs. Someone made a mistake and put this up there. They didn't make a mistake. I take that back. I was just told that they didn't make a mistake. It was just found by me. This is the other photo that was right. This kind of freaked me out. Right there under her Google. Right there. I sent this all in, by the way, you guys. I know these look blurry, but these are the elements that are showing up in that photo. The one that really blew my mind and told me that this is a fucking guilty photo is all the way in the back of the photo is that heart up in the right-hand corner. That little heart shows up all the way up in the sky. That heart matches the heart in the water at the tunnel in Tennessee. That's not a coincidence. That to me is a common element in a common location. That was the most incredible find. Look at that. It's still coming together because this photo has like 6 different layers. And in between each layer has information. I'm still working on it. But that heart is, when I find an element like that is so strong, that's when I know to send it to the TBI. There's the heart, all the way in the back in the middle. All the way in the back. And they're going to be able to tell what kind of grass this is, where that is. There's Don's number 5. They're going to be able to see that, you know. They will. Whoops. Wait, where is Harmony? Harmony. Oh, I have one more to show you. So the Harmony case really has the same elements as I have been following. I just showed you like those crazy pictures that were just shown. But this lady here, her t-shirt changes just like Don's does. Her shirt shows so many different harmonies. And in the back of her has the same, in the back of her, if you zoom in and you look at the elements around her, those are placed there like they're very proud of what they do. It's all the same as I've been showing you guys. But this is what's really crazy. That purple keeps getting lighter and lighter. And it's the jugs. I'm not doing anything. I'm just copying and pasting them here. She has the same metal things on her legs as Summer did in her last photo that I showed you. Those aren't boots. Those aren't shoes. That's metal. And the purple is a color that they use to cover up things, you guys. Purple. And look at that guy's t-shirt. It has like, they use those as like graves or something. I don't know what that is. But it's always around a tree and in grass. And this is why I need to get there. Because I have no intentions on going to Tennessee and going into the drama of Tennessee. Because if I go to Tennessee, I have to get to Don Wells's tree on his property, and I don't want to have anything to do with them. Y'all think maybe, it's fun and it's, that you're becoming friends with him, but it's not. It's not funny. You guys don't, like, if you know dangerous people, you think quadruple it. They will shoot you with a gun if you are on someone's property, and you won't know who shot you because no one will know where it came from. You're not invincible. Here's the background of her photos. It's just all elements that pop up. All the same elements. This was a strange one. This just popped up under Montgomery, and the only reason I stopped it is because it had the purple to it. Anything that has a purple tint and has crazy looking shit in it, like this was just sitting there in Google, you guys, like literally in front of me. This is just another piece of evidence that shows me that case is fucked up like Summer Wells is. And they use a purple light. They're all in the dark. And once in a while, someone takes a photo and literally posts it. They can't see. They're in the dark. There's the heart. You could see the heart all the way in the back. This just shows you more of it. It's a crazy looking photo. It's just so guilt. Here's the mom. Now let me tell you guys something. Her t-shirt, when they do pictures like this, it's to give a message. Her t-shirt changes. And all the way in the back, if you look at her with that, wait, let me grab a photo. It's in her shirt. Wait, I just want to show you this picture up close. So funny, I can never find Harmony. Okay. All right, let me just grab that photo. You need to look at the girl all the way. See that element in the middle? We'll crop it and paste it. Wait, let me enhance it a little because it's a little dark. Okay. This is such guilt. Like, these guys are not paying attention to social media, that we're sort of understanding what's going on. You see that? This is like all the elements. Look at the red. Look at that person in the back. That's not what this picture is supposed to look like, but this is what happens when they do deep fakes over it. And then now it's been so many months, the elements fucking match. There's the skeleton faces, blah, blah, blah. But it's this dude. This one. That puts the icing on the cake for me. Really? I would love to sit down and have a martini with this girl and really talk with her. Her phone, everything has this whole picture. She doesn't realize that there's someone like me who is really looking closely to every piece of a photo. And I am so, now it becomes so clear to me because I'm literally being guided. Like, it's so easy for me to find this shit now. Oh, keep taking it. Wait, paste. I just want to show you her phone. That's her phone. She's holding a skeleton face. You understand? And her mask has a photo. This is such guilt. Where is it? Wait, edit, paste. Okay. Everything she has on her has an element. This is the mom that just thinks she's just standing, and this location right here by the tree is what I told, I mean, I don't know if they're going to listen to me, but that's what I said, dig up. And it's all the pictures in the background. Like this, it's all the way in the back. It's such guilt. It's such guilt. All right. Let me go back to the picture now. Harmony. All right, I'm on this page. All right, wait, let me go back. They're all under her. There we go. It's the mom. Here's the bodies. I put this in here because this is actually, now I can't tell. To me, that's Mexico. I don't know. Total scene. The reflection in the car, always look for the reflection in the Volkswagen there. It's the reflection are the same white jugs. It's the same thing. And that's what they have hidden in like the grass area. It's very strange looking, right? And on his body. It just shouldn't be there. We don't have to figure out what it is. It just shouldn't be there. This is the really fucked up picture that they put up. You guys, wait till you see what's on their t-shirts. That's what's on each one of their t-shirts. Do you understand? It's sick. They have different photos of her in a sick situation. On their shirts, just like Don does with his shirt. Look at the people. See how she has that heart on her glove? It's kind of getting distorted. Reminds her of the same heart. These are the people in that circle. Here's another crazy photo. If you zoom in, you don't have to even zoom in. Look under his hand. That's a deep fake. He's bragging. He's bragging. And look what's you could always tell when you look in the mirror of a car. In that mirror in the car, up all the way in the corner, in the left-hand corner, is the exact same photos I see that pop up in many people's cars that I'm looking at. They're guilty. This is the area I really want to go look at. And I want to get my intuitive feel for it and my intuitive read. These pictures have been manipulated, they've been edited, they have been fucked with for the sake of this case. I know these don't mean a lot to you guys, these pictures, but they have been edited and picked at, and I know what they put in here. Just because they edited and picked at it is the reason I know that these are fake. This was a nice long live. I wasn't even anticipating this. Where's the Amber one? It's a lot of information. I don't think I'm done with this one, but I wanted to show you something really interesting. The girl that, the case that created Amber Alert, that it was years ago. Amber Hagerman is the little girl that they found murdered, and it's still unsolved. But I don't even know how this came to me. Her photos were very, very strange looking to me. Let me just show you a few things, and then I'm going to call it. And then the next time I come on, I'll do readings. This is the mother. Just to show you how far back this goes. Kidnapped and murdered. This is her photo that she chose with the dolls. Now, I went very close to these dolls, and they're very, very strange. There's very strange things going on with these dolls. And then she moves the dolls and puts that baby doll. Behind her daughter's head are those same jugs that I just showed you in Harmony's case. Now, this is unsolved, but she was brutally murdered, and they found her. This is her with the bunny, and the things that are showing up in her head and around her head are just too familiar to me. And this case was a while back. This is a case that I think I'm going to look into. Look at the bike. They say that she was on this bike. She has so much on her body and on her arms and what's going on. I don't even know how they even came to this photo. And no one double looked at it. And, maybe it changed over the years. But this is Amber, where Amber Alert was named after her. Amber Alert. I just have this intuitive feeling that she was taken by the hands of a cult. Taken by the hands of a cult. She has moons in her ears. This was in Texas. It's, to me, just the same background as Harmony Montgomery. It's the same background. It's the same information. It's the same information. It's just something I want to just show you guys. And this was a very strange photo, especially when I see the clown. I really didn't like what I saw with these photos. I get a very horrible, sad feeling in my heart. Yes, I know she was murdered. Yes, but I feel like I'm very sensitive to what I know I'm looking for. And I do feel as if this Amber was a victim of the same kind of a cult. That's what I feel. This is a picture I will leave you all with, and I'll give my last words of wisdom. I feel as if this is one of the last stages of what happens to these children. I do feel as if they go through brutal torture, a lot, and then at the end of the day, this is the purpose, to sell their organs. I'm sorry, I know it sounds really far-fetched, but you guys, it happens in this world. It's happening, and it's being done by a group that could get through the government. And this group, to me, looks like they're the ones who transport. They're the ones who transport. I mean, to have a number 5 on one of these things is pretty crazy. And this room looks like a craziness. I don't like it. And I really hope they find this room. I really hope they find this room. So I'm going to, next time I come on, I'm going to put just a few of the Summer Wells faces and just do readings through whatever comes through, period. Whatever comes through. Because last time, I actually just last night, they're like, where have you been? Where are you? Where'd you go? Like, they're really upset that I haven't connected on that level. I'm just taking in information and not putting them on the platform, which they do like the platform a lot. It gives freedom of speech, per se. I hope everyone has a great rest of your day, and I guess do something different and enjoy your day. Hug your family, hug your kids, hug your friends. And I hope that there's no drama today on YouTube, that maybe a message will come through that everyone needs to just kind of take a step back and reevaluate reevaluate the way that they're responding to situations, because it's not about anyone but yourselves. And I know a lot of people that watch my channel 110% understand what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying because you found my channel, you found me, and that's because we're living on the same platform. We get it. We get it. And it's very frustrating to see those that don't, but this time the ones that don't, they're affecting the case. They're affecting the fucking case. And they have to stop and reevaluate and stop the nonsense. Keep doing what you're doing, but try to question yourself and question why you're feeling the way you are. The more digging you do on yourself, the closer we're going to get to solving this case. Unfortunately, it's all intertwined. Somehow, some way, and for some reason, we're all intertwined. And we're supposed to help each other see it. And until then, this isn't going to be solved. Until then, it's not going to be solved. We need peace amongst the YouTubers in order to find peace within the missing children of Summer Wells. Unfortunately, it goes hand in hand. And I have and I'm going to keep faith, and you guys are going to find peace amongst yourselves. It's real. It's real. It travels. So maybe that's something that we could work on. I love you all, and thank you so much for having the faith in me. God bless you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.